students, I am Dr. Anita Sharma. Welcome in my chemistry class. So today I am going to explain you two important terms of coordination chemistry, that is labile and inert complexes. So without further ado, let's begin.
Coordination chemistry paper 302 and today's topic is labile and inert complexes. So the metal complexes in which ligand displacement reaction is very fast and they are very much reactive, they are called labile complexes, and this property is called lability, while the complexes where ligand substitution reactions are very slow and they are less reactive are called inert complexes, and the property is called inertness. The stability of complexes are of two types, kinetic stability and thermal stability. Kinetic stability, again, the complex could be labile or inert. So labile complex where the ligands are easily substituted, while inert complexes where the ligands are not easily substituted. And thermal stability is based on unstable and stable complex which is related to heat. But in this chapter, in this lecture, we have to discuss this labile and inert complexes. So we will consider kinetic stability only. So let's discuss kinetic stability on the basis of geometry. So in square planar complexes, all square planar complexes are labile because four sides this complex is surrounded, this metal is surrounded by ligands, and many sides are free for substitution. And in octahedral complexes may be labile or inert. Here metal is surrounded by 6 ligands from 6 sides. On the basis of valence bond theory also, this lability and inertness was explained. So according to valence bond theory, outer d orbital complexes where the hybridization is sp3d2, where outer d orbital is taking part in hybridization, ml bond will be larger because the distance is more, and if it is larger means it is weaker bond, and if it is weaker bond then the energy will be high and the complex will be labile. While inner d orbital complexes where hybridization is d2sp3, where inner d orbital is taking part, this inner d orbital is n-1d orbital, and that is why this ml bond is shorter and stronger and energy of this bond is lower, so the complex can be act as inert complexes. But we cannot explain lability and inertness on the basis of valence bond theory clearly, because some exceptions are there. Complexes with D6, D7 and D9 configuration should form inert complexes according to valence bond theory, but it is found that they are labile in nature. So now next base of property of inertness and lability could be size of central metal ion and charges on the central metal ion. So size of central metal ion, smaller the size of metal ion, greater will be the inertness because ligands are held tightly by metal ions. Charge on central metal ion, greater the charge on metal ion, greater will be the inertness. Why greater will be the inertness? Because strong ml bond will form. This criteria, that is size of central metal and charge on central metal ion, was unable to explain lability and inertness properly. It was found that in some metals where the same charge and size was there, even then their nature means their inertness and lability were different. Now on the basis of CFT, the labile and inert complexes we have to understand. So labile complex, if the crystal field stabilization energy value for 5 or 7 membered intermediate complex is greater than that of reactants, then complex will be labile. If CFSE value of product is less than reactant, then the complex will be inert in nature. So lability and inertness was explained by CFT also. So for clear understanding of labile and inert complexes on the basis of CFT, we have to see the d orbital configuration. So according to CFT, there are two sets of d orbitals, T2g and EG set. So what we have to remember, if 3 or more than 3 electrons are present in T2g, 3 or more than 3, then complex will be inert in nature. If 0, 1 or 2 electrons are present in T2g, then complex will be labile. If any electron is present in Eg orbitals, Eg-d orbitals, then complex always will be labile. So this lability and inertness we will see in some examples here. So number of electrons and electronic configuration, nature and example. So examples I am not going to speak again and again, but here you can see electronic configuration and its nature. So if 0 electron is present in D, as I said, the complex will be labile because first electron will enter into T2G. So if 0, 1 or 2 electrons are present, the complex will be labile. This is the configuration in T2G. If 3 electrons are present in T2G, then complex will be inert. This is the example. Now, if D4 configuration is there, in case of D4 configuration, there are two possibilities. If high spin complex is there, low spin complex is there. So if high spin complex is there, then configuration will be T2G3 and EG1. And in that condition, if any electron is present in Eg, the complex will be labile. But if low spin complex is there, then all 4 electrons will enter into T2G. So the nature of complex will be inert. In D5 configuration, if T2G3 and Eg2 is there in case of high spin complex, then complex will be labile. As I said, 2 electrons are present in Eg. If low spin complex, then all 5 electrons will enter into T2G, so that complex will be inert. Here in D6 configuration, high spin complex. D6 configuration, high spin complex, T2G4 and Eg2. And since 2 electrons are present in Eg, the complex will be labile. D6 low spin configuration, T2G6. No electrons entering into Eg orbital, that is why this complex is inert. And in case of D7, D8, D9 and D10, all the configuration will show electrons in Eg orbital. So if electrons are present in Eg orbital, with this configuration, complexes always will be labile. So we can conclude that if calculated crystal field activation energy is negative or 0 or low, the reacting complex will require less energy to form intermediate, hence it will be labile. And if CFAE is high, positive value, then complex will be inert in nature. And it must be in the mind that CFAE is the part of actual activation energy. Other factors are also important. Actually, labile and inert is very related terms. For one scientist, a compound could be labile, for another scientist it could be inert. Then scientists came up with a convention that if a complex totally substituted within 1 minute at 25 degrees Celsius, then it is said to be labile. So we have to remember this name. H. Dogge was first gave the concept. He described that the complexes are labile if they have half-life of reaction under 30 seconds, while the reaction having half-life greater than 30 seconds termed as inert. So if half-life of complex is less than 30 seconds, then the complex will be labile, while the half-life of complex, if it is equal or more than 30 seconds, then complex will be inert. This we can understand by a simple statement. In other words, we can say the complex having 0.1 molar concentration at 25 degrees Celsius perform ligand substitution reactions in 1 minute, then such complexes are called labile. And a complex in the same condition, if takes more than 1 minute to perform ligand substitution reaction, then it is called inert. Means 0.1 molar concentration, 25 degrees Celsius within 1 minute, if substitution reactions takes place, then the complex is labile. And if it is taking more than 1 minute with same condition, then complex is said to be inert. So this is all about inert and labile complexes. These are the references. Thank you.